Assumption, what's your function? I made a remix to that show. I don't even know what that show was. High School Musical? No, it was something. It was like conjunction, what's your function? It reminded me of that. It was a movie we watched when we were kids, but I wanted to talk today on how assumptions can potentially limit your perspective to life. And I felt the intuitive nudge to speak on this based upon what I came across today, which I shared in my stories. You can take a look at it. But a person shared a post about smoking marijuana all the time. And what I got from that is this person assumed that if you smoke marijuana all the time, you're escaping depression or escaping your emotions and things like that. And I can see where he's coming from. And some people who commented also agreed with that. And I totally agree with that from my own experience before of smoking weed all the time. When I was smoking weed all the time, yeah, part of me was doing it for that reason, for escaping my emotions of depression. And another reason why I was doing it was because of the fact of I was connecting with my friends. And that was a way for us to connect in the moment. So, like I said before, assumptions can really limit your perspective about life. And assuming something is the way that it is because of a certain reason before even allowing the reason to show up in the infinite ways that it shows up can really limit you. And that is definitely pushed a lot in society today of these quick assumptions for the reason why somebody may do the things that they do or the reason why things are happening in a way that is happening. And it's totally fine. We have the right to speak our truth for what we believe in the moment. And there's infinite truths as well. You can see it going on from all the different religions and spirituality and different practices and all these different things. But what can happen is assuming that one way is the overall way for this thing. And to bring it back to this whole topic of people smoking weed all the time, it's because they're trying to escape something. What is that based on? That's the question. Your assumption for whatever it may be, what is it based off of? What is it based off of? For myself, when I assume things are a certain way, it was based upon my experience before that. Or maybe I was told that by somebody that I deemed was a superiority to me. So I assumed like, oh, this is what this means. How many assumptions do you have in your life right now based upon previous experiences? People I talked to before, they're assuming that, let's say they are talking to somebody in a relationship and they're acting this way. So they're assuming it means this because of their previous experience, or they're assuming it means this because somebody else, maybe a friend or something, had told them that, and not really asking the person in the moment the reason why they do what they do. There's like, how many, there's billions of people in the world. And there's no way that we all do the same thing for the same reason. That's my assumption. That's my belief. That's what I believe. I believe that there are infinite reasons behind why we do the things that we do. But it's so easy to like put something as a label for why somebody's doing the thing that they're doing to lead to some type of result, because it makes it easier compared to stepping off the ledge, asking the person directly why they do the thing that they do, and to really just listen to their response in a way of not assuming, but to allow it to unfold. I've been doing that more lately in my own life of not assuming, but asking in the moment why people do the things that they do. And it's monumental. I really get a different reason why people do the things that they do. Let's take one thing, for example, that's a universal thing out there. Trump supporters. People label Trump supporters and they assume that if you support Trump, you're racist. So, interesting enough, I was able to come across somebody who was a Trump supporter. And the quickest thing that I could have done is label this person, oh, this person's a racist because they support Trump. But I actually asked them, why do you support Trump? And guess what the answer was? It was because they supported the way that he handles the economy with money and business. I guarantee you, a lot of people wouldn't have assumed that. Now just imagine that, of having those type of conversations with people before assuming and putting a label on the reason why they're doing the things that they do. And you actually get to learn some new perspectives and new information about things. I try and I embody more of not assuming the reason why somebody's doing something, the reason why somebody is saying something, the reason why somebody's being the way that they are. And it allows me to really see the reason why this person is being the way that they are or doing the things that they do. And it allows the infinite perspectives to showcase itself. I use that in my practice too, and I get to learn different perspectives for why somebody is thinking the way that they're thinking, why somebody's being the way that they're being. And it's profound because it allows the notions in our mind to be at rest and really get to see things for what it truly is in the moment. Now, of course, assumptions sometimes are very useful to use universally. Let's say like a snake is potentially going to bite you. That's like a high assumption. It is also to keep you safe. Or touching a stove with your hand when it's on fire is going to burn you. That's an assumption that we all can agree on right there. And those are some of the universal assumptions that I do resonate with. And that can keep you limited from not having a hurtful experience with your hands or getting bit by a poisonous snake potentially. And still, it may not bite you. You may potentially not get burned, but there's a high probability you will. So I can see why assuming things can be useful as well. But I welcome you to try it next time before assuming that something is the reason why it is or something's happening the way that it is. Ask the person who you're assuming they're doing this because of this, why they're doing what they're doing. They might answer, they may not answer, but just open that possibility out there and see what's happening in the moment. Stay connected.